Hey guys, this is Chad Davis
and Liz Reed
from Past the F and Popcorn, bringing you fresh movie news and reviews every week. Tune in to hear the latest movie news,
releases,
and reviews on all our movies we love to love
and love to hate.
Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Past the F and Popcorn.
And you can find us at pasttheffandpopcorn.podbean.com.
Hold up!
Aaron.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm willing.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett, he pushes him straight into the third row.
Let's go.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S. Nerd Show. Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have talked a lot. There's nothing left in the tank.
Let's go.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome back, everybody.
There we go.
So before I bask in my glory of I was like 90 seconds away from having that prediction right. So
All I hear is, I was wrong too.
Of course, my name is Dave. Welcome back to the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S. Nerd Show. I am accompanied by the host of the WECP podcast. What's up, bud?
What's going on, guys?
How you doing? What's your name?
Aaron.
There you go. All right, and I think caught me off guard. And of course, I'm also accompanied by the host of a podcast that was not done this week.
Ben Field Goal called in sick. Couldn't record Joe's fantasy field goal. So,
how you doing this week, Joe?
I'm doing all right. Doing good.
So, what did you guys think of the fight?
I thought it was a good fight.
It was a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be Mayweather would run away with it on a strictly point basis. I didn't take the over. Oh, I didn't take the under on the how many punches is McGregor going to land in the first round. I didn't take the none bet that was there.
That was a dumb bet.
That's a really bad bet.
Yeah.
That was a really bad bet.
He's not going to land any punches. All right, Max Kellerman.
Yeah, really, yeah. But it was more interesting through 5 rounds than I thought it would be.
I was wrong about everything.
Okay.
About the fight.
Yeah.
I thought if McGregor could land on Floyd, he would finish the fight. And we saw McGregor land a lot on Floyd.
Yeah.
And he didn't, I don't think he even came close to finishing it.
No.
He hit him flush, too, with some good shots. I just think Floyd has a chin. You know what I mean? I think he can just take it.
Yeah. That was definitely the most aggressive I've seen Mayweather, too. And I think he knew the situation, that he wasn't scared.
I don't like this narrative, though, that, Conor only hit him because Floyd let him. I think Conor forced Floyd to box the way that he boxed.
Right. That's probably true.
Because the first round, when Floyd came out, he only threw 5 punches. You're trying to tell me that he let Conor hit him and didn't attack back?
Right.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You don't win a boxing match by letting the other person hit you
more
and not throwing.
Right. Yeah.
So obviously, if your plan is to, I'm not going to throw a lot of punches.
Your plan
also has to be, I'm not going to get hit a lot.
Right. Right. I thought that was more of a feel around where he was trying to see what McGregor was going to do.
Conor, it's really hard to rock that Philly shell defense that Floyd does against the southpaw.
Yeah.
And I think Conor took away Floyd's straight right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was doing that weird thing with his hand where he was keeping it out the whole time, and he was it was almost it looked like he was trying to play patty cake.
Patty cake, yeah.
And then every once in a while he would throw a legit jab in there, and you could see it hit Floyd in the face, and he was like, "What? Jesus Christ!"
Right? Yeah.
I thought you were just doing that.
Yeah.
For show.
Yeah. Right. Right. What did you think of the showmanship? The hands behind the back.
It works when you're not exhausted and can't lift your hands up.
Yeah. Now, what did you think? Now, you didn't watch the fight, right? You didn't see it live. No, you've seen highlights. I'm assuming.
Now that I've seen the highlights and heard what I heard about it, I'm glad I didn't spend fucking $100 on horse shit.
I spent $10 on it.
You spent $10?
I had people over, so we all just
that's not bad. That's not bad. I just streamed it.
I'll be honest
Facebook
with you.
lived it.
Like I was saying earlier.
Completely legally.
It was on Facebook.
Paid money.
I can't help what I see on Facebook.
And streamed it. He didn't Definitely did not do it.
You can't help what you see. You know what I mean?
Illegally.
It was on my timeline. I can't help that.
So, like I was trying to say, before both of you fuckers tried to cover over me, my point is, I'm not fucking excited by anything Mayweather does. I wasn't excited. Oh yeah, no. All right, you want it? You want it?
No.
It's on the fucking list. I fucking got it.
That's
The Chris
awesome.
Jericho, you made the list action figure for the fucking podcast.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
That's great. What I love about Aaron's list was that Joe kind of generated that list idea. You know what I mean? Like, oh, is this guy one of the guys on the list?
Yeah.
And it didn't come from Jericho. Like,
No.
it came from a very organic place at the same time that Jericho was, it was over already, the list of Jericho.
Yeah.
But it was like two different ideas at the same time.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the Jericho
list.
Yeah,
right?
I was just like, oh,
it's just
Aaron
sort of
has a
like
list.
Aaron has a list.
The main point I took away from the weekend: boxing's boring,
Yeah.
especially the lower weights because they're not knocking each other out.
If you don't have an appreciation for the sweet science, I totally agree with you.
No, I understand. I understand counterpunching and stuff like that. I think it gets to the point where you watch a fight and there's a lot of great fights with like Ali and all them that did go deep into a fight,
Right.
and they excited people. I can't. I think for me, perfect fighting is MMA. It's quicker. It's faster.
I think they could fix a lot of problems with boxing if they literally outlawed the clinch.
Yes.
They literally are like, if you grab onto the other person,
That's a point.
Or
it's a point deduction.
Or you could just do like what they really should do to make it actually exciting and actually see what a real fighter is. Bare knuckle. End the whole fucking... Because you're not going to throw as many punches, and when you throw them, they better fucking count.
Right. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
A lot more broken hands.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right,
Mayweather
yeah.
would never fucking throw a punch.
Right.
Mayweather
Yeah.
probably wouldn't fight into 50
Yeah, I think
50
fights would last like 3 rounds. You know
That's
what I
my
mean?
point.
Like, yeah.
And the guys would get
I don't know if they
cut
would.
up
I don't know
quick.
if they would. I mean, the knockout rate would be higher for sure. But
The knockout rate would be higher, but also, if you could take the punch, the other guy's hands are going to break.
yeah,
Like
eventually.
if you punch a human
But
skull
people are
enough
just going
times,
to
you're
keep.
going to break
They're
your
going
hand.
to keep punching. I mean, Mayweather breaks his hands like almost every fight.
Right.
He just punches through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although when they're bare knuckle, you're
that's what I'm
feeling
saying.
it
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
It's not. There's not big pillows on your hands.
Right. Yeah, that'd make it interesting. I just don't think that's boxing.
No,
but
it's
I
not.
understand
But
what
like,
you're
I think
saying.
the point at a certain point, even if you just maybe put wraps on, like you do in like karate or some shit
What
like
did you
that.
think of, like, did you see the McGregor interview afterwards that we had, like, it's like a glove underneath the glove where it's like it's really thin, but you could tell there's like padding around these knuckles.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
Oh, that's the wrap
right.
when they wrap their hands.
Yeah, no, but it was like a glove
I
that he
didn't
had
see
on
that.
or whatever, and there's like you could see like there's excessive padding like on this knuckle and this knuckle, and it only goes like to your first phalange or whatever. So, which is a really good word drop right
Dropping
there.
science.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, I think that's the problem. I think you had one guy that doesn't do it full time.
Mm-hmm.
You have a guy that's the greatest defensive boxer of all time.
Yeah.
That's a horrible human being. So for me, everything's fucking null and void. I don't want to watch it at all.
Yeah.
I get the spectacle of it. I want to see Mayweather knock him out. But once I heard or not Mayweather, McGregor knock out Mayweather.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that how the fight ended, I was like, yeah, no, you're definitely not getting $1 from me, and I'm not going to watch any of this fight.
It was better than I thought it would be.
It was more exciting.
That's why I keep
than a
hearing,
regular
like,
Mayweather
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. And of course,
It
you
was
get,
a billion times more exciting than Pacquiao Mayweather.
that's true.
Like
I thought that was
1,000 gajillion.
right. I thought that was a true sentence. So I almost had it. I was wrong.
And
too.
McGregor did
I was
win
wrong,
rounds.
too. Yeah, he did. He won the
Also,
first 2. Yeah, for sure.
He won the first 3. I
See, I think he
won the first 3.
I had him at a draw at 6.
I think he won the first 3, and then he lost
had-
the next 3, and
I
then
had-
he won I think he won the 8th.
I had him win 1, 2, and 4, like through 6 when I was watching it, and then I had Mayweather at 3, 5, 6.
I think he won 4. I think he won by Connor's own admission in the 10th round when he got knocked out.
Yeah.
He said Floyd was beating me 5-4.
Yeah.
5 rounds to 4 is what
Yeah.
Connor thought.
Yeah.
And that was kind of pretty standard for like people watching the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the judges, if this isn't proof enough that it was rigged, Like if it had gone the distance that, I knew there's no way Floyd loses a decision in Vegas
Right. Yeah.
on his
Yeah, in his domain.
his promotion.
Yeah.
He sets up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Some of the judges had Conor winning 1 round.
That's crazy. He easily won the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Easy.
Floyd threw
right.
5 punches.
Right, yeah,
in the first round, Floyd,
Yeah.
you can't win a round. You throw 5 punches in.
Right.
I don't care how good you are at defense.
Did you watch the undercard?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Did you see the kid that's on Mayweather's promotion that didn't
The one
go
with
to the weigh-in that lost the title?
stuff?
Yeah. What the hell is that guy all about? I don't know. Yeah, I thought he was a pretty good fighter. I liked the fight, but didn't show up to the weigh-in, got stripped of the title, and it was
he came in overweight, I thought.
See, I thought that he was going to come in overweight, and he didn't even show, and that's why he lost the belt.
Yeah, they stripped him of the belt, and then he won the fight, but
And then afterwards, he's like, "I'm coming back for my title."
the
Or it was
way
like-
he won the fight was like a punch to the back of the head.
yeah, it was, yeah. That was a rough shot too.
The guy get up.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was overselling it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I actually thought that the whole series of matches wasn't bad either.
I watched. I thought the first fight was boring.
I didn't actually watch the first one. I saw the 2 prior to the main event. So those 3 matches I thought were all right. There was 4 matches, right?
There was 3
was
in
there
the main
3?
event. Yeah, there was 4 total.
4 total.
3 then the main
yeah. So I
event.
watched the 2 undercards prior to the main event.
I
and
watched bits and pieces of all 3.
yeah,
I watched the whole fight of the Elmo guy.
yeah. That was an interesting fight. But yeah, that guy's character was like, "The hell is this?"
What was
guy?
that big blue hood that he wore? I was like, what the fuck
What was
is
with
that?
Floyd's ski mask too when he came out?
I guess that's a character he plays, like a villain character.
Yeah.
That's what the guy announced. One of the announcers was saying.
The big issue with boxing is there's too many fucking titles. No
Yes.
fucking actual oh, this is your heavyweight champion. No, there's 3 or 4 different heavyweight
WBC,
champions.
the-
You have all
right.
these different organizations. I don't want to say you put them all under one umbrella, but follow the same fucking rules.
Right.
And then if you're a champ, you have to fight the other champs.
No, they should
that.
all be under one umbrella.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They need some organizational skills they don't have.
Right.
The other problem I have with fighting in general right now, UFC did the same thing the WWE did. Buy up all your fucking competitors. Now you have too many people,
Right.
and not enough places to put them. You're putting on too many shows.
I don't know.
You're hemorrhaging money, and it makes no sense. The
The UFC might not be they might not be the biggest thing in MMA in a year or 2.
I know, but that's my
because Bellator might take that shit from them.
because they did the model that I think you should do, and what they used to do: 1 pay-per-view a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you put the biggest fights you can on each pay-per-view.
Right.
And you spread them out, obviously quarterly, the heavyweight champ or whatever, whoever your star fighter is, whether it's McGregor or Rousey got married over the weekend, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Congrats to Ronda Rousey.
Sure.
And what's her husband?
Travis
Brown.
Nice.
Heavyweight. That's the thing is you need to spread them out. They need to have more valid fights.
Right.
Okay, so look, what perfect example is this weekend. McGregor versus Mayweather. It's a fucking it's a big event.
Right.
That's what it used to be.
Right.
They don't do that anymore.
Well, UFC made a lot of money on it too.
Oh yeah, no.
Right.
They got a
Oh,
piece
yeah.
Well,
of
they
McGregor's
needed to
purse.
because they need money.
I love what they asked McGregor after the fight. Like, are you gonna box against? I don't know. And he says, "Are you gonna go back to UFC?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course. I'll or go back to MMA. Yeah, of course I will." He said, "Are you gonna go back for the rates that you were making before after you've made this?"
We'll
And he
talk
was
about
like,
it.
He says, "Oh, the game always changes every time we grow. The game always changes or whatever." He's like, "So it's just changing more now or whatever."
Well, here's the thing.
It's gonna be tough.
There's
It's gonna be
no-
tough to
they have-
fight like that.
Rousey's not fighting anymore.
Right.
Fucking what's his name tested positive again.
Right.
He's going to
John
be
Jones.
suspended for probably
2
like
years.
4
At
years.
least 2 years,
Yeah.
possibility of 4.
That's crazy.
So even if he somehow proves it, at least a year.
No,
proves that it wasn't.
I've heard new things about John Jones' suspension that are. This is
Incriminating.
something that power lifters take that make them go fucking demon angry, and it can be out of your system in that,
Well,
like
here-
hours. And he thought USADA didn't have a test for it. USADA announced, they don't announce when they get a new test, but USADA had a new test for it. He didn't know because they don't announce when they have a new test. They have this test that can find it now, and he got popped for it.
Wow.
Well, see, the worst part is now you have your light heavyweight champion,
Daniel Cormier.
Now
it's Daniel
the
Cormier.
belt gets removed from him. Now it goes back to Cormier.
Yeah.
And then now
That division's in a gridlock.
But now he's sitting there going, well, I beat most of the guys behind me.
Right.
But the guy that I was supposed to prove that I was the number one,
Yeah.
I've lost 2 twice.
Yeah.
Granted, this last one was tainted.
Yeah.
But you have to look at it and go,
I think all of his wins are tainted now.
possibly, yeah. There's a high possibility.
I was a John Jones fan. I can't.
Is he on the list? Is he on Joe's list?
I can't defend him anymore.
Yeah.
I heard him on Rogan's podcast, and he talks like very intelligently about stuff, and he was very open about what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Made me realize I still fucking hate him, but at least he was honest about that he's a piece of shit.
Right.
And now it's really just obvious that he doesn't give a fuck.
Well, now, before it was like, I feel bad for what I did, and you thought he was changing his life around. Now all that is just fake to me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's always been fake.
Because, well, no, when he's like, oh, I whooped your ass, high on cocaine, like is what he said to Daniel Cormier before, and then he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, but he was saying like, I did these things, like I did this, I did that, and I'll own up to it. You know what I mean? And now I'm going to come back better. And then he's supposed to be coming back,
Right.
like, this is me clean now. I changed
Right.
my life around. No, you didn't. You just put the steroids in your ass and fucking.
That sounds like an addict. Like,
Yeah.
like addictive personality.
I don't
like,
think.
Hey, no, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm good now. I'm good now.
I don't think
And
he
it's
can
like,
win. Like, has he ever won without them?
Yeah, that's the thing. You create that. You willed that into the world.
Because if he
by
just
your behavior,
fought,
you know what I mean? Like, that sucks.
If he just fought, let's say he won all these matches and never did any drugs, never got popped for anything.
Yeah.
He goes down as the best UFC fighter of all time.
Right. And now,
No, he goes down as the best. Pure dominance. He loses one fight. And,
it was a disqualification,
and it was a bullshit one.
Yeah.
So he loses one fight, dominates, like not even close, dominates his weight class. He honestly could move up to heavyweight and probably, maybe outside of Stipe, dominate that division too.
No, I think Overeem would destroy him.
I don't.
I think he would.
I think he's.
I don't think Overeem
he's a
would,
better MMA guy.
I don't think Overeem would not test positive for something, but I think he would kill him.
That's what I say. Joe's MMA League out in Japan. Just let him juice to the gills.
yeah, that's it. Go nuts.
Yeah, let him do it. Let's go back to pride.
I just think it kills everything that's going on right now for them. Also, McGregor, what's his next move? Is he going to fight
Nate
fucking
Diaz.
Diaz again?
Once
And Diaz, that's the other thing that pissed me off. Diaz is there at the fucking fight. After the fight's hugging fucking what's his name and taking photos with him. He's a horrible human being. Stop being around these fucking people.
Yeah. Well, now the question comes in. Transition a little bit to Boston
Go
sports.
ahead.
What about Tom Brady? You see this?
Yeah.
Did you hear that awkward as fuck interview on WEI?
Oh, yeah. They asked him about it.
I have never seen him or heard him that unprepared for a question. It was bad, dude. Really bad. I mean, literally, between 3 questions, there's 35 seconds of silence. Bad. Question being, is it true that you and Floyd Mayweather are really close friends? 6, 7, 8.
What did he say? We're not.
goes,
I wouldn't say really close.
Was his first word. He's a great fighter. And I think he's really great at what he does. Okay. Were you, did you go to the fight? No. I was at a wedding. I was at a friend's wedding. And it was great. It was a good time. A lot of my friends came by. Nice. Were you guys rooting for him? I said I was at a wedding. I'm like, yeah, no, I know. But we're just asking because Floyd made sure that the whole world saw that you FaceTimed him before the fight. And he says you guys are really close friends. We just want to give you a chance. 9, 10, 11, silence. He's a great fighter. And then they said again, they bring up something, and then Kurt kind of puts him in a corner and says, "No, Tom, listen, we're not trying to get you here. I'm just saying, I'm sure you're aware of his personal situation, that he's beaten his wife several times, and I think you're a pretty smart guy. I've only met you a couple times, but I think you're a smart guy and you're a great guy. I don't think that there's any way you'd be friends with a guy like that. Am I right?" And he goes, "I don't know what we're doing. Where are we going with this?" And then they're like, no, we just wanted to know, like, we kind of wanted you to debunk the idea that you guys aren't as close friends as Floyd made it sound. And you did. You said that, no, you've met him a couple times, and he's a great fighter, and that's your relationship. So that's all. We're just asking. Yeah. Okay. Just awkward, dude. Like, so bad. So where do you stand with, like you said, with Diaz hugging up on Floyd after he's a bad guy? Tom and him, are they... To me, that sounded like, yeah, they're friends. And he didn't want to get lumped in with the whole, like, you have shady, like, you're a friend of Trump.
I don't like that fucking narrative, though. Like, why?
That he has shady friends?
I mean,
why
Trump's
does it
a
matter?
different
No, it doesn't.
thing. Trump's a different thing.
It doesn't matter. That's my point, too. That
No, I don't,
should have been my boss.
The thing is, though, where do you draw the line at friend?
Right.
Because do I think, like, when Brady goes to the Kentucky Derby with his teammates,
Yeah.
is he calling Floyd Mayweather and inviting him to go, like, on a private jet? Like,
Right.
You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
don't see him
When he has a
hanging out or
barbecue
anything.
at his house,
Right.
or him and Giselle go on vacation, or are they
There's a
seeing
difference
what Floyd's
between
up
being
to?
famous friends as
Yeah.
someone like, hey, you're 40, I'm 40, we're both considered the greatest at what we do. How do you do it? You know what I mean? Like, and if
I
you're
think
texting each other and talking to each other like
This
that.
takes him way out of my... He's not the greatest. It takes him out of it.
Who?
Fucking Brady, if he's friends with the asshole,
Jesus Christ.
takes him
You're
out
listening
of
to
it.
Get out of here.
That's
It's
nuts.
not. I think it has
You can't be a worse quarterback because of the people you know
Yes, you can.
around you.
No,
No,
yes,
that's
you
not.
can.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yes, you
you
can.
No, you can't. No.
Yes, you can.
There's no way.
It fucking Edelman.
Here we go.
Yes,
Go ahead, do it.
Edelman had to take his Madden curse. I blame Brady.
Yeah.
I blame Brady.
Hey, this is how I'm feeling right now.
Can I go home?
I
Yeah,
don't want to do this.
that's not. I think it is a. It's like a Brady admires dominance. He was a Montana fan growing up, partly because he grew up in San Francisco, but also Montana was dominant. I'm sure he likes Michael Jordan. I'm sure he just.
He likes Michael Jeter or Derek Jeter.
Yeah, it's just he likes longevity. He likes
Right.
dominance
I
in
think
his
he likes
sport.
athletic greatness.
He could also say, "Hey, this guy's the greatest boxer that I've ever seen in person."
No, but I don't.
wanted to
That's
pick
the
it-
thing is,
No.
I don't think he's allowed to do that kind
No,
of stuff.
he could say that and just say, "I just wanted to pick his brain and see what makes him great as an athlete." He could say that, and that ends the conversation as, "Oh, he's just trying to get information."
Here's what I think. I have friends that I'm not proud of 100% of the time, and I'm not under the crucifix for it because,
Yeah.
like, you can't be responsible for your people you know's actions. So why would you be judged negatively because someone you know does shitty things?
I have friends that have
Yeah.
done
Right.
stupid things, bad things, things that have ended them in
Right.
jail.
Right.
I don't associate with them anymore
Mm-hmm.
because at a certain point, that person, one, doesn't change. Two, I don't want to be caught around them doing stupid shit.
Right.
Even if they're not doing it right in front of me, cop pulls up, he's got something on him, I'm associated.
So that's the
So
thing,
let's go.
though,
Let's
is
go
that
through the three. Let's go through the three that are the problem. Donald Trump sexually assaulted women and
Allegedly.
bragged about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just grab him by the pussy, right? So Tom Brady's friends with that guy.
Okay.
Alex Guerrero sells snake oil to cancer patients.
That's
Goes to
sketchy.
jail for it.
That's sketchy.
Now he's a legit friend.
Right.
And he's a legit sketchy person around him.
right.
That I don't
Also,
like.
when
I
Tom-
don't like that he's around him.
Now, when Tom explained it, he says Alex Guerrero served his time for what he did wrong, and no one knows the situation. How do we know that Alex Guerrero wasn't told by someone, hey, this stuff works? You know, we have it, whatever.
Yeah.
We sell pharmaceutical type stuff. You know what I mean? It's not not treatment stuff, but how do we know that the toothpaste works? How do we know that it's, you know what I mean? Like, or how do we know that the level of fluoride isn't higher than it should be? Or what, you know what I mean? You
Well, we're
don't
supposed to
know.
test
We're
for
just
that, but,
told,
you know.
right. But it's our test. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff that we make. We have an R&D lab that says, yeah, it's good. because we said so. So now we're going to sell it. You know what I mean? How do you know? So you can very easily, and I'm not saying that our stuff is bad or whatever. You know, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I ship that stuff to the world. You know what I mean? Now, if all of a sudden it came out like, hey, Dave, you are part of a business which delivered, fluoride, which caused cancer, whatever. Yeah, I guess I did. I don't know. I didn't know that when I was doing it. You know what I mean? So with Alex Guerrero, I don't know. Now, do I think he's a little quacky? Yeah, I do. But I also think that some of the stuff that they're doing right now works. I do believe in a lot of the workouts. I do believe in a plant-based diet. Not that I follow it, but I understand the benefits of it. So, like Tom said, he's done his time. Floyd Mayweather, he's going to do whatever he's going to do. They're all three are equally shitty people, right? On different scales.
I don't know if they would say they're equally shitty.
So sexual assault and domestic violence.
I don't know if that's as shitty as the gray area around what Alex Guerrero did. Like, I would say he's
all right.
less shittier than...
Right. If he did it knowing...
But the thing is, he might honestly believe that.
Right.
If he honestly believes that he's helping people...
Right.
And not this is a money grab...
Right, that's what I'm saying. If he did that...
If he knowingly sold
and knowingly that this doesn't work, I'm going to sell it to a cancer patient, and they're going to die
that's
anyway.
That's shitty, but he might not have known.
Right, I'm not saying that he did or didn't.
He might honestly...
I'm in the scenario.
The impression I get of Alex Guerrero is that he believes in everything that he peddles.
Right. I'm saying that in the scenario that he did know it was a cash grab.
Yeah.
That, to me, is equally as shitty as sexual assault. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm in, that worst case scenario for all three of them. So, yeah, does he have some shitty friends? Do I think Tom Brady's a bad guy because those three? No. I don't fucking care. I don't care that he associates himself with people. That's his choice as an adult, human, grown man to be buddies, be best buddies. Shit, he could take money from best buddies and put it in his own charity, whatever. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And it's not my goddamn business. I understand he's a celebrity, so people start calling for little details like that. He's a role model. He should do better. I'm in the Charles Barkley camp. Don't have your kids follow my life. Like, don't do that because you should be their parent.
Also, I think what Tom Brady does should be more important than what people who hang around Tom Brady do.
Right.
True, but I think also as a father, you want to show your kids, your sons, hey, yeah, no, hang around with this guy. Guys like him, they're good to be around. They beat their wives. Like, hey, you don't see me do it to your mom, but it's okay that he does it to their mom.
Yeah, you're putting words in his mouth.
I'm not putting words in his mouth. I'm putting the words that most people would say to him. Its assumption to him is saying, hey, your kid comes to you and says, Dad, you're friends with Uncle Floyd. He came over last week and you guys talked business. And then I see him on the news. He beat his wife in front of his kids.
So then, as a dad, you say
that's not a mistake if you keep doing it.
No. But as a dad, you say, yeah, that behavior is unacceptable.
Yeah,
I don't know why he does.
Yeah,
that
but then if he comes over
again,
or you see him with dad again on TV, God forbid he never comes over again after that because you're like, no, this it's bad influence on my kid. But then in public, you're shaking his hand, giving him a hug, telling him he's great.
Right.
That doesn't show your kid that you should show your kid
that
if somebody does something like that,
you should just totally disbar them and get the hell away from your friends. You
shouldn't be fucking patting them on the back and telling them great job because you promoted a fight grid. You know what I mean?
But when did he do that in that scenario?
When did he pat him on the back? I didn't say that. I'm saying you're asking me what people are going to say to you and why they're coming at him about this. That's what they're saying is you're essentially... because everybody says Tom Brady's this great guy, he's a good, like you said, I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a good daddy. I think he's a good father. You know, he's got his own business. He's trying to help improve people's lives with his health stuff. By him being friends with him, that's what people think. They go, oh, well, if Tom Brady thinks he's a nice guy, maybe he's not. And then they see him go out and beat his fucking wife again, and they go, well, why the fuck is Tom Brady friends with him?
Right.
If he's a nice guy, why would he be friends with a guy like that?
This comes down to the fact that Aaron has a tough time separating off the field things.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
But I can appreciate Corey Dillon's performance on the field without thinking like, hey, this scumbag beat the fuck out of his wife.
Yeah. No, I get it. I have a I have a Corey Dillon fucking figure,
right,
that I bought before all that shit came out.
I forgot who it was. There was somebody talking to me. I was like, well, didn't he like have some issue? And they're like, yeah, but he was so great. Like, and you just said it, and I was like, what the? I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. But there was like, we were at work one day. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what about the?
No,
last
I can acknowledge somebody being a great athlete.
I can appreciate what Roethlisberger does on the field.
Yeah, see, I can't
without the.
I was waiting for that.
I can't with him.
Well, that might be a Steeler thing too.
Right? Yeah.
Well, that's also my dad's team, so I can't.
Yeah.
But my point is, I just think that like if you're going to be friends with people and you're in the public eye like that.
That word though.
What?
Friends. I don't.
Association. You associate with them.
But the thing is,
Business
when do we
partner.
ever
Tom
talk
Brady
about?
did FaceTime them.
Yeah, but
like,
when do we
FaceTime acquaintances?
When do you?
No.
When do you ever hear about Tom Brady and Floyd Mayweather?
Right. No, and that's a
When
good point.
Floyd Mayweather is fighting. That's it.
Right.
That's the only time you hear about their association because Tom Brady contacts Floyd, says, "Hey, I'm pulling for you, man.
Yeah, good luck.
Good job out there." And why? Because Tom Brady appreciates people who master their craft.
Okay, it's the same way a lot of people give. I see
he
a lot
does
of
it
people,
to a lot of people.
and I find this guy absolutely hilarious when I see him doing stuff. But I can't let go of what he's done as a human being. Mike Tyson, the fucking guy could knock anybody out.
Right.
He was a great boxer, but as a human being, he's a horrible human being.
Right.
And he's a father. Like that shit he has to live with, and he talks openly about it. That he has to live with all that shit, talking to his own kids.
Yeah.
I still don't. I can, like you said, you can respect the play, you can respect the man as an athlete. I just don't respect Floyd Mayweather's style to begin with.
If I said to you, I really like Mike Tyson, would you say, "Oh, fuck him," like you do with Ben Roethlisberger or Xavier Woods or whoever? You know what I mean?
I would say fuck him as a human being. Yeah, he was a great boxer.
Yeah.
But it's the same way. I already talked about it. Like Ali's the same way for me. I think Ali's a fucking idiot for using religion as a reason to not go in the military. You just didn't want to go fucking kill people. That's a legitimate.
Time, though.
No, and he did. Right. But he had to fight overseas because they wouldn't reinstate him.
Do you think if Tom Brady was friends with Mike Tyson, FaceTimed him, and you think anyone would give a fuck now?
He's not. He's not in the heavyweight champ.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And that's
no one would care.
Right. You know, you're right. Yeah.
They would not be asking him on WEI, like, "Hey, what about this weird link that you have with Mike Tyson?"
Or they would probably ask him, like, "Hey, have you ever hung out with him and pet one of his tigers?"
Yeah,
like, that would probably be the question.
It would not be like this. You know, hey, Mike Tyson was convicted of rape and like beating his ex and shit like that. Like,
right.
So you draw the line at Mike Tyson, but not like Mike Tyson went to jail.
I think
for rape.
Yeah, no, and he got out and was able to fight again.
But for some reason, if Tom Brady was friends with Mike Tyson, these questions probably don't ever get asked. But because Floyd Mayweather is an active boxer still,
I think it's the same reason why it's a legit question to ask Stephen A. Smith for going on TV, interviewing him, and cutting it up and laughing and joking about how his house is really nice and stuff like that. It's accountability for you as a human being. We all know you have a mother that you love. That his mother that he loves, that we saw at the Super Bowl. They gave a Super Bowl ring to. Would you be okay with another man beating your mother? You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're trying to say. As a human being, when you say you're friends with somebody like that, as much as, and I know you said you don't like the word friend, but even if you're an business acquaintance of this guy, you're in a way, in the public eye, condoning his behavior as a human being.
But like Stephen A. said, he's done that interview with Floyd Mayweather already. He's done hey, you beat the shit out of this woman.
But you still don't have to sit there and laugh and joke.
So, like, how many times does he have to do it? Does he have to do it every time he sees Floyd Mayweather? Is the one time good enough? Or does it have to be, I can't move past this because the public won't let me. You beat someone. Now, every time I talk to you on camera, I have to bring that up.
Oh no, I just don't have to talk to you and act like we're best friends.
But that's part of his job. He was there to do a piece on Floyd Mayweather.
And you don't have to sit there and talk about how great your house is and how great you're doing as a human, as you're doing financially.
So I have to. Yeah, but so I have to.
You can sit there and just ask him serious questions, and then when you're done, shake his hand and walk the fuck out. You don't have to be his friend.
I didn't think he had to do it on air. That's the thing. You could have done that when the camera was off, the Stephen A. Smith thing. You could have done.
That's the piece that ESPN wanted.
Interview. No, it was right. They wanted to fluff her, right?
Yeah,
no, I get it. But I think if you're Stephen A. Smith and you want to chop it up with your boy, that's fine. You know what I mean? I get it. You're in the business of journalism
and relationships, which is your job. Yeah, building that to loosen him up and talk about what you want him to talk about.
But that's the type of thing where you do your thing. You talk, hey, what do you think about the fight coming up? It could have been boxing. It didn't have to be. You beat your wife, you beat your wife, you beat your wife. That's the difference. That's what I think Kirk was talking about when Stephen A. Smith was on. It didn't have to be all, hey, I'm going to remind you again, you beat your wife and you got arrested for it. It could have been break down the fight. What does he have that no one else has offered? You know what I mean? It could have been a full boxing breakdown. And then the camera cuts off and you're like, dude, I got to ask, how big is this house? You know what I mean? And then you could have had the conversation as boys, not on TV. But you're right, ESPN wanted
the way I see it is ESPN, how many breakdowns of the fight were there?
I'm sure 1,000.
Fucking a million.
Right, yeah.
So ESPN was like, we could send Stephen A. out there and he could do a breakdown of the fight. Right. Or we could find out.
He could do a breakdown of the fight with Mayweather.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Yeah. Get the Mayweather perspective. Right.
Well, the Mayweather perspective is going to be I win the fight.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
If you can get that conversation going, what is... If there's one thing you've got to watch for in this guy that you never had to watch for in anybody else, what is it? You could have had a boxing interview without tickling his dick for 20 minutes. He didn't have to.
Stephen A. could have said no.
Right.
That's really the argument.
Especially as a legit journalist too. You know what I mean?
You could send someone else out there and do this.
Max Kellerman
doesn't need to be me.
Right. You know what I mean? Right. Max Kellerman's one of their bigger boxing personalities too. So,
but I don't put the whole thing on. That's what his job was.
The point is that's the public view of it. When you're visually he didn't even do it publicly. It's not like we saw the Skype video live of them talking.
Brady and well, no, but there's the call came in because Showtime does that 24/7.
Yeah. I said Tom Brady on the
right. But my point is, if you don't want that, he didn't do it publicly,
right?
Like you're saying, you didn't do it. You don't have to do it in the interview that goes on ESPN. You can do it off the camera, but as a human being, it's tough to sit there and go, man, you're like a good person, and why are you even associating with a human being like this?
And the thing also is, it's not Tom Brady flaunting his...
No, he's not.
His relationship with Floyd Mayweather.
It's Floyd Mayweather
Floyd wants people to know that Tom Brady likes him.
Right. He wants to...
So you're going to give Tom Brady a tough time for calling him and say, hey, you go fight. It's not like he was like...
Right.
Hey, how's the kids? Or he was just like, hey, go...
Go get him. Yeah.
Go get him.
Right.
We're pulling for you over here. He probably has money on the fight.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh. And then just Floyd puts it in front of the camera. It would be. I would almost agree with you guys if it was Tom Brady arm around Floyd, snapping pictures.
It wouldn't be. I disagree with Aaron on this. That I don't think anyone should check Tom Brady, who his friends are. You know what I mean? I understand. I can wrap my mind around the fact that, he's got some real shady people that he's been linked to, for sure. I dig it. I don't fucking care because I don't judge a person based on their counterparts. I think that if Tom were to start to go down some dark road and things went south for him, I'd be like, well, you are the company you keep. But I think how you carry yourself should matter more than the way the people around you do. Right, and then that's exactly it. I think he's much more of a man of integrity, and he represents himself better than any of the guys that are around him. You know what I mean? So,
and like I said, it's not like Floyd is inner circle. I mean, he's at a distance.
Right. Yeah.
These people.
I agree with you that he's great at his sport. That's why I tried to bring it up too, and I like the way you worded it, but. He's a 40-year-old. They're both 40 years old. They're both considered at the top of their sport.
But and Tom Brady, this is not a
new thing for him.
He does it to a lot of different athletes. He'll call Isaiah,
right,
and be like, "Hey, it's your turn now." Or
right.
That's. I know there's a Boston link there, but there's also you're the best boxer, dominant thing. I'm over here.
Right. Yeah.
That's why Floyd flaunts the Tom Brady thing. If Tom Brady was Alex Smith, if he wouldn't make Showtime. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It wouldn't be like, hey, Alex Smith is calling me.
Right. That's true.
It's only because it's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like he's going to be the guy. Like here's the perfect example. You used Corey Dillon, which we always like. People when they think of like the Super Bowls, they like people like to talk about that year with Corey Dillon, and
I
they
never
had that.
think about the fact that Corey Dillon had a domestic violence.
No.
Never
So that's my point.
crosses my mind.
So we think about great players that Brady has played with.
Right.
He's one of them. That one year, he was great.
Yeah.
And I remember playing that Madden game and just fucking running like the motherfucker. Just running my ass off with Corey Dillon. Now, when I think of that, I think about the same parallels. Okay, so you have Bird, McHale, and you have Parrish.
Right.
Parrish has domestic violences on his things. Right. Nobody talks about him at all when they talk about, like, nowadays, they don't really talk about him.
I think it's because we're overinformed.
Yeah.
That
As
too.
a society. I think we know too much. And I don't know that society's worse behaving. I just think that more people know about the bad shit people do. You know what I mean? Like, there have been celebrities that have beaten their wives all the way back to fucking Robert Parrish and way before. You know,
I bet
way
you
beyond. I just
Tom
think
Brady-
we know it, so we feel more about it.
Tom Brady has an equal level of friendship with Floyd Mayweather as he has with Chad Ochocinco. I bet you it's the same level of friendship.
Yeah. I could see that, yeah.
And they're both domestic violence people, but no one ever brings up the fact that Tom Brady probably talks to Chad Ochocinco occasionally.
Right. Yeah.
Very
That's
true.
very true. And that's I agree with you. I think that there's a lot of I think he links himself to greatness, and especially people that, like you said, longevity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I think he associates with that, and I think he picks the brain of a lot of people too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he calls Floyd, or Floyd calls him and says, "Hey, you know, I'm starting to feel this." You know what I mean? Like now, or I started doing that workout. You know, am I supposed to be this sore? Am I supposed to whatever? You know what I mean? Like, if they have conversations about being 40 years old athletes and at the top, like the pinnacle of their sport, they have a lot in common in that realm. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to be talked about, I think. You know what I mean?
Is he friends with Kobe?
I don't know.
I mean, I hope not, because then he'll just
He
drop
might-
like
he
two
might
more.
very well
fucking
be friends
steps.
with
I
Kobe.
wouldn't be surprised.
He'll drop two more steps.
Are you a Kobe Bryant raped that woman? Are you
I
in
just
that
think
camp?
he's not a good person.
Because of that.
I think that's a big part of it.
I don't think he raped that woman. Is
I don't
that?
think-
I think she's also wasn't she underage?
I don't think so.
I don't think she was underage. No, she was young, but she.
Have you ever seen that stand-up bit? Kobe Bryant, where the guy holds the microphone, like whatever white girl, and he just starts hammering the.
Oh yeah. That's like, and you like the Daniel Tosh one too, right?
No, yeah,
It's
where
like,
he talks
number
about
8.
No. Number 8 was the rapist. 24.
He's a good
He's just
guy.
a guy with an unblockable was an unblockable jumper.
Right,
Like
yeah.
that's how he
That's
goes.
how it changed.
That soulless town will never.
Kobe had the best PR squad ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Kobe Bryant as a basketball player, but his PR team is fucking bonkers, dude. Nuts.
I think
Every
the
single
Lakers,
situation.
I think the Lakers have a great PR squad, unless it's their owners diming on one another.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That's
a really
the only
bad
thing
part,
that's
yeah.
the problem.
But I mean, even the Shaq drama, the Pau Gasol drama, all that shit gets fucking like swept under the rug. And
Yeah,
that
what
shit-
Shaq drama? What Pau Gasol drama?
Exactly right, and that's. I mean, he was really a bad teammate, a friend to those guys, like really bad. But it's who remembers that? You know what I mean? Like they do such a good job.
LeBron
Just
should go
moving.
hire him.
Right.
Whoever
LeBron needs that. I've said that for a long time. LeBron needs Kobe's PR guy.
Yeah,
for
whoever
sure.
Kobe's
because
PR
LeBron
guy
is the
is.
PR nightmare.
Yeah,
he's the worst.
He can't do anything right.
Right.
He's
So
right
true.
now doing everything he fucking can.
I'm sure
to
he's fuck-
stonewall this trade.
Yeah. So that's
To fuck
what's next.
everybody.
Right. And I think that he's
I don't know why you would want to.
going to be at
Because he wants to fuck over everybody.
Yeah, I think he wants
his-
Tatum.
He wants every piece that he can from
The
Boston
trade's going
to
through,
fuck
as
Kyrie.
is.
The trade's gonna
Kyrie.
go through.
Now, where is the fucking commissioner?
Trade's going through as is. It's already been reported.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the commissioner they had.
Why isn't the commissioner getting involved? Period, and going, guys, what the shit is going on?
They have a
here?
grace period. They submitted the paperwork. They have to get their physicals done.
Everything's always pending physical.
Right.
And
right.
they had until
I think tomorrow.
I think Thursday was the physical.
The physical deadline.
Yeah.
So if you can't get your physicals done, by then,
I
then,
fully believe the story I heard that the Pats put the Brooklyn pick into the deal
The Celtics.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
The Celtics put the Brooklyn pick into the deal because of IT's hip.
Probably
Like, that was already they had accounted
You're
for
not
it.
getting the real IT.
Yeah.
So we will sweeten that up with
Yeah.
the Brooklyn pick. Now, quick detail. I think we talked about it a little bit last week that Brooklyn pick is going to be way less valuable come midseason. Jared Sullinger's working out with them right now. And remember how we said they only have one power forward on the roster?
Well, now they have two.
So if he signs there, and again, I know you don't love Jared Sullinger, he's on the list, but
No, he'll make them better.
he makes them better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's a good rebounder, and he does a lot of good stuff, and he looks lean. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He lost a lot of weight.
The Celtics should just start trading weird people to Brooklyn. Like,
Yeah.
we'll take a second rounder here. Just take
Right, exactly. Yeah, you can have right.
Yeah.
That pick is going to
Kabusele. Is he coming over? Yeah, here, put him on Brooklyn.
Sure, so you can have
Just
him.
pump that team up.
D'Angelo Russell, Alan Crabb, Damari Carroll, Jared Sullinger, Timothy Mozgov.
Yep.
Not
Is
bad.
Is Brook Lopez still there?
No, Brook Lopez was the trade for D'Angelo Russell
all right,
and
all right.
Mozgov. That's not a horrible 5.
No?
That's not bad. It's not good. It's not a good one.
It's still pretty bad.
It's
though.
still pretty bad. Right.
Like Orlando, we were talking about teams that were better than them last week. Toronto, we didn't mention, is definitely better than.
Toronto's better. Right. So
Yeah.
that's like 5, 6. We got like 6 teams.
Yeah,
And then you would say the Sixers potentially
probably. You would
Yeah,
hope
right,
after
yeah.
all
On-
the hype that fucking
on paper.
all the
Fucking
process that
with
we've been
Ben
believing
Simmons
in.
at fucking point.
at the point.
At the point,
Yeah, Ben Simmons
at the point.
Right. Yeah. Ben Simmons at the point. Thank you. And so
He finally
doesn't-
admitted
yeah,
it. He doesn't realize it,
doesn't know
but
it.
he
doesn't
finally
know that
admitted
did
it.
Right.
He's not running the point.
We weren't talking about Fultz. So
Fultz is your point guard.
But yeah, the Sixers on paper are better. But that's Celtics, Cavs, Bucks, Wizards, for sure, right?
Yeah,
Raptors, Sixers.
yeah. I would still say for sure better.
Okay, yeah, right, yeah, for sure better, yep. And then the 7th, 8th seed is a mix of probably New Orleans. Charlotte, I'm sorry, Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
Charlotte would probably be in the 7th seed. Kemba and Dwight is nice, but their other 3 is suspect.
Charlotte is definitely better, I would say.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll put Charlotte 7th,
They're going to be right around that 8th seed. I don't
Yeah.
know who else you would put over them.
and then the rest of that is a fucking game of Russian roulette. Like, you
I think
just
Knicks,
spin-
I guess.
Is Chicago
until
gonna be
Carmelo's
until
gone.
Carmelo leaves, right? Yeah.
Is Chicago going to be
Chicago's
horrible?
going to be a dumpster fire.
Chicago's going to be bad. They're probably going to buy out Dwayne Wade.
He's
So,
going to Cleveland.
He's going to go to Cleveland.
Jesus Christ. They're just going to have nobody that has knees. Other than LeBron, they're going to
Who
have
does Chicago
no
have
knees.
at that point? Who'd they trade?
They have.
What
Don't
was
they
the
have
trade?
Rondo still?
No, Rondo signed with the Pelicans.
Oh, did
What
he?
was the
Him and
trade?
Cousins back together again.
What was the trade for Butler?
That was
Chris
Levine and Chris Dunn.
Dunn. So yeah, Chicago's
Yeah,
not going to be good.
Not good. And they lost Taj Gibson to Minnesota too in free agency. So that's tough.
Yeah.
So that's going to be bad. So with the Celtics pick, anyway, that Nets pick is suspect. You know what I mean? It's definitely. I don't think it's going to be a top 5 pick. I think it's more around, like you said, 8 to 12, and potentially 13, 14, 15, whatever. But 8 to 12 is probably that's my prediction. So based on my McGregor or Mayweather fight prediction, I'm going to be like 1 off. So it's probably like
15.
7 to 11. 7 to 11.
It's going to be like 15.
Dave, the
yeah.
prediction king.
Yeah, the
now.
prediction king. Overtime Super Bowl.
What's the Red Sox prediction sitting at?
I think you're going to win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
98.
You have 98. Yeah, that 4-game loss almost took me out of it because I needed him to go 29-10, which isn't bad.
No.
You know what I mean? Like go 3-1 10 times.
They went on a
Whatever.
4-game skid.
On a 4-game skid. So now I need him to go 28-6.
Yeah, that's
Tough. That's tough. So
I'm still.
you have them in second place. Like you might get the win total down, but you're voided because you said they're not going to win the division.
Well, they do. Don't they have a big?
They got a big series,
Series
with the
against the Yankees?
It's true. It's-
So
they're
I
up
mean
4
that could put them in second.
Motherfucker.
they-
and if it is, this guy also predicted to score the Super Bowl. So we're pretty good at this prediction thing.
Well, I only have one on the book,
have
so
one
I
on
hope
the books.
I'm right
You have
with the
one on
Red
the books.
Sox because that would be my only one.
Right. What did you say for the fight? Points for
thought-
Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd would win in decision.
Yeah. And what did you say? Decision.
Probably the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Yeah. All right.
We didn't write that down.
Also,
did we?
you said that Brandon Cooks was going to have a worse season than Julian Edelman.
Which is this is null and
So-
void now.
No, it still
No,
holds up.
no,
It holds
no.
up
Brandon
in a-
Cooks
That was
needs-
it holds
under
up
that
in
was
a
under
court
health.
of law.
Brandon Cooks needs one catch for 1 yard, and I win.
It was under. It was under.
False pretenses.
Yeah, there was a health clause.
Yeah. That's a tough injury.
Also, I don't know if Brandon Cooks finished the year with one catch for 1 yard and played all 16 games. I would argue that Edelman had a better year.
That's valid. That is valid.
I would argue that Edelman blowing out his knee and not playing a game is better than Brandon Cooks playing 16, having one catch for 1 yard.
That's true. That's true. Now, that's a tough injury. I think the Patriots are as well equipped as ever to be able to...
Listen, I've brought this up to a couple of people who aren't Patriots fans, and they are just like, the fact that you can even say the Patriots are perfectly fine without Julian Edelman
I don't think perfectly fine
is
the word.
just unbelievable. I was like, they have more depth at wide receiver than they've ever
They've
had.
ever had. Tom Brady had a season where he threw to Rashae Caldwell,
Yeah.
and
He was the number one receiver.
was that like an old David Patton? Who
They're
was
like,
the second
well, you
receiver?
know what,
I think it
what
was like
happened
David
last time
Givens.
Edelman? What happened last time Edelman
He was like
out?
David Givens.
Oh, David Givens. Yeah, not David.
Yeah.
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 David Givens and Rashae Caldwell, and he took that team to an AFC championship.
It was like, what happened
I want
last
to know who every time Troy Brown.
Right.
That man just
Superhero. Unreal.
That's what they always. What happened last time Edelman was out? Well, last time Edelman was out, they didn't have fucking Brandon Cooks, and
Right.
Chris Hogan,
And last time
Malcolm
Edelman was
Mitchell,
out was in
and
the
Danny
middle.
Amendola.
It was also the middle of the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where things like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
you still got 2 weeks.
Oh no! The
You know what I
last
mean?
time
So-
he got hurt,
They
you
had
had Danny
Danny
Amendola.
Amendola.
Right,
Yeah.
Danny Amendola.
And you still have Danny Amendola.
Right. And I
You-
know the points per game went down and their third down success rate went down and all. I get it.
You have Burkhead. Come on, man! You got some fucking weapons.
A
You
lot of
fuck it. Put Deion Lewis in the slot. Don't cut him. Make him a
Right.
receiver.
Right. And now that was going to be an interesting question I have for you guys too. We talked about the running
White.
back scenario.
White.
I think James White. I think both those guys are going to get a lot of play. Now James White does do a good job playing wide receiver.
I think Deion Lewis can imitate Edelman
better than White
with the shiftiness in the open field.
He's really he is like a true scat back type
Yeah.
thing. And his
So
he
if you
does move
put him
like
at slot receiver
Right.
and just like those little slants and comeback routes, like
Yep.
especially out in space where he only has to beat one person,
Right.
he could be really dangerous. But I just don't know how many times I want him cutting on that knee.
Right. Yeah.
Just
So
like,
now-
and I play and it's gone.
Well, my question is, we were talking about who do you cut? Is it one of the running backs? Is it going to be one of the receivers? Like Austin Carr probably makes the team now,
Yeah.
right?
Fuck it. Put him in the starting lineup.
Right. But now it's do one of the running backs. Like, do you have to cut anybody?
Now I have
or
trouble-
Do you bring
yeah.
Carr in and
You
so
pop.
that's tough. I'm really interested.
Who's your
we got
third
another-
tight end?
Langle.
Oh, if you keep three.
I don't know.
I think they'll keep.
I think they like that other kid.
If they're going
I
to
think
keep
you've gotta
three
keep
quarterbacks,
I think you keep 3 because
Oh,
the Gronk
yeah.
is.
I thought they liked
you
that.
know,
I thought they liked that kid Hollister.
They do too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can practice squad him. You might be able to waive him.
Him and his brother.
and not go. He might
Yeah.
not get picked, or claimed, I should say. Carr, I think, gets grabbed just for one catch.
I wouldn't even put him out.
Right.
Like I would try and find a way to
Right.
keep him on.
He's made one fucking play that I like.
Yeah.
but I'm just like, you got to keep that guy. Like,
Yeah.
he reminds me a lot of like.
there were reports coming out of camp before they
He had a
started
good-
playing
he had a good camp.
preseason that he was
Yeah.
like
Oh,
popping
yeah.
at camp.
Right. That was like, remember when Victor Cruz owned the preseason for 2 years and then he broke his kneecap,
Yeah.
and then his patella or whatever, and then the same thing, like tore his ACL the second year, had a high ankle sprain or something.
Yeah.
But every preseason, I mean, he had like a 3 touchdown game in the preseason. I remember watching him play, I'm like, this kid's gonna be so good. And Victor Cruz was like that guy. And even as a Patriots fan, I'm like, fuck, like this kid is awesome.
I
Then
had
he
a friend that
started
played.
salsa.
I had a
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
that played against him in college.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
because
he
he went to
played-
Monmouth. He
Oh,
went to a
right, right.
small ass school.
Yeah, yeah.
And my friend played against him. He's like, he wasn't that great in college.
Yeah. No
Somehow
shit.
he figured it out in the pros.
Yeah, he was really good. He is also on
The Bears.
the Bears.
The Bears.
Which
Cam Meredith, Kevin White, all fucked, right?
Yeah, you're looking at like Kendall Wright
Kendall Wright and Victor Cruz.
and no, not Marquise Goodwin.
that
Marcus
his-
Wheaton
is that a sleeper?
is
pick?
over the Bears.
Is that a sleeper pick?
Victor Cruz?
Get a Victor Cruz.
I think Kendall Wright might take that.
I think Kendall Wright's going to be the
I think
one
the
receiver.
best person to get on it might be Zach Miller.
Yeah, he's going to be the best pass catcher for
Yeah.
that. Right.
So
that's true.
It might be the safest pick.
My buddy said that same thing because we were talking. I said, "Is Cruz the best receiver on the Bears right now?" And he goes, "I'd say Zach Miller. Like, who leads their tight end?" He's like, "Fuck, you know what I mean?" Like he's the best pass
receiver,
catcher.
yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I got you."
Maybe Marcus Wheaton if it's just like a pure.
I didn't know he
speed
was
thing.
there.
Yeah,
I didn't
he
know
is.
was there. Yeah, that's interesting.
Kendall Wright probably though is the one that.
So, you brought up an interesting thing, and you can actually turn that back over. I want to read that before we move on to the Patriots too much. Aaron, Mr. Note Man, right?
Yeah.
Got a really cool thing here where this is Vegas, the Westgate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Westgate Las Vegas Superbook predicted the win totals this is the list of the top win totals, right, in the NBA. The Warriors are at 67.5.
All right, yeah.
You take the over or under?
67.5.
I take the under.
The under?
Just I think the West is going to be really, really strong.
I say just barely over.
I think I'm going to take the under because I like that, and I think that they start to take games off.
Okay.
To rest for the playoffs.
You've convinced me. I'm switching to under.
Under. All right, so all three are under. Celtics, 56.5.
56.
With Kyrie. We'll
With
say
Kyrie.
Kyrie's on the Celtics.
How many did they win last year?
53, I think.
I think so.
I think
52,
I think I'm taking the under again.
Take the under again.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the over on that.
Okay.
I like that.
Just because of
The next one.
IT's team. Although the East is so weak.
The East is so bad. The East is so bad.
But the thing is, IT had such a good season last year, and they still only won 53 games.
Yeah, but also you have Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving now.
Gordon Hayward. I'm taking the over. So I'm changing my mind.
All right. I'm really good at this.
staying
I should sell cars or something. Houston Rockets, 55.5.
Under.
You're going under.
Oh, I'm going under.
I think it's going to be dysfunction.
Under. I'm going under with you guys, too. I don't think by much, though. I think they'll be like 51. 52,
Especially in a
like that.
really tough West, you better get that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking.
That's what I'm
right
thinking.
over
If
there.
they acquire Carmelo,
I would change it.
I'm going under.
Yeah, I'm going
He's
under.
the human vortex. Like fucking.
Yeah, but I think that only matters.
It's
in the
more.
playoffs.
It's more talent. Yeah. The Spurs at 54.5.
That I could see the over on.
I'm going under.
Who's their point guard?
Depends on how many they won last year.
Did they pick up a point guard?
I don't remember.
I know that they wanted Chris Paul. Kyrie was
Why?
saying he wanted to go. No, they don't have a point guard.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, not one that we know.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they have one on the roster,
there's
but yeah,
someone
they
there.
didn't pick up a marquee
Manu's
one.
still playing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cleveland Cavaliers, 53.5 games
They have the Cavs
with less wins than the Rockets and
and the
Spurs
Celtics.
and Celtics. Yeah.
We saw it last year.
They're predicting the amount of wins the Celtics got last year.
Cleveland is like a fucking move away from a dumpster fire. I'm going to say under.
Yeah. What do you think of Iman Shumpert asking for out?
He knows.
He gets it. You're just going under 53.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take over.
I'm going to go under.
Without Kyrie,
Yeah, I'm going under.
IT, healthy hip, maybe?
LeBron's 45 wins by himself.
Yeah, but I think it might be like LeBron. Like,
Right.
that's it.
I think Kevin Love's gonna be
And
good
if they
for a
start
few.
taking games off, like resting games.
Yeah. I just think the East is so bad that they're going to beat up on a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it.
I'm going to go over, but barely. Like, was it 53.5? I'll say they win 55.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if that was 55.5, I would.
I'm staying with under. You can't convince me this time.
Okay, all right.
I'm going under.
Isaiah Thomas won 53 games with a much worse team.
I would argue that it might not be much worse.
Having LeBron and Kevin Love
Yeah, but
is much better than Al Horford and Jay Crowder.
the depth.
And they still have Jay Crowder.
The depth, yeah. And, well, they got Jay Crowder. And Ante Zizic.
I just don't. I think it's that whole chemistry matters.
You're just trying to convince him.
chemistry matters.
And LeBron loves IT.
Yeah, but he doesn't love anything else about Cleveland right now.
That's true. Oklahoma City Thunder, 51.5 games.
With Paul George,
And
I'll
Russell
take
Wilson.
I'll take the over on that.
Take the over on that. I said that I thought the Timberwolves were going to have a better record than the Thunder. I did say that to you. And I don't know.
I didn't hear that, but
That was when you got your faux Disney trip phone call.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
we were talking Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Jimmy
No,
Butler
I
called George.
think-
Did you see that report that the Celtics were worried about Jimmy Butler chemistry wise
Yeah, I heard
coming
about
to
that.
the Celtics?
Because
Yeah.
him and Marcus Smart, he's not about that life.
Oh yeah.
Thunder, 51.5. You're going over.
Going over. I think the Thunder was surprised. Well,
I'm going
I
to
don't
call a
think-
push, and they're going to win a half a game.
I don't think they should.
51.5.
I don't think
I
they
was going
should.
to say if it was like 51, I'd take it.
I don't
take
think
it.
they should even. I want to say they're going to surprise some people, but I don't even think it should be a surprise. You're putting like one of the best
Yeah,
small
you took, like,
forwards
yeah.
with the guy who like
You took like a top 7 player
Yeah.
and put him with the MVP.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to...
an MVP point guard at that, like a guy who distributes the ball,
Yeah, it's tough.
who had double-digit assists for the whole season.
For a team with fucking
Nothing.
nobody.
Yeah.
So,
now,
oh my God.
now you have a.
Steven Adams. That was it. Feed and just eating off.
And
of
did they
Westbrook.
lose anyone?
Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, but they upgraded.
Yeah. No, I don't think they've lost any major pieces. No.
So
Right.
I guess...
I want to know
I
how
wanna
many.
go-
I want to know how many they won last year because they were what, a 6 seed, 5 seed,
They were the
6, I think.
What is 50
Houston was the 3.
What does 51 wins get you
They were the-
losses-wise?
They were the 4. Hold on one second. They were the 4 because they had to play.
No, Houston was the 3, and they were the 6. They were the first round, right? Houston Thunder.
So no, I think they were the 4, and Houston was the 5.
No, Houston had a better record than them.
Oh, maybe it was 5-4. Maybe it was 5. Maybe they were the 5th.
They were either
because
the
I
5th
remember.
or the
I remember
6th.
if they beat the Rockets, they would have played the Warriors.
Because the Warriors were 1,
Right.
San Antonio was 2.
Yeah.
I thought Houston was 3.
That's probably true. That's probably true. I just remember saying that if the Thunder won, they would get to play the Warriors, and I really wanted that series because
Yeah,
I thought it was cool to have Harden.
They would have
Westbrook.
if
If everyone else won, they would have been. If it chalked except for them, they would.
yeah,
have
because
right.
one would play 6.
6, right? Yeah, yeah. That's why I thought they were 4 because one would play 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're right. Yeah, I think they were 6. You're right.
All right, so 51 wins.
51 and 31 is what you'd be.
Oh, no, that's not going to get more than 51 wins.
51's a good season. Celtics
Yeah, 50
were Celtics were the best team in the East last year. They won 53.
51, like a 50-win team is like that benchmark. It's like winning 10 games in the NBA or in the NFL. Like you win 10, 11 games.
Odds
it's
are
like,
actually
good,
it's probably
pretty
an
good.
under. Like the safe bet is probably an under.
If they're like 48 and 44.
I'm still going over though, even though they're in the West, which is rough. But I still think
I'm going to take the over.
I feel like I've gone under on like everybody.
I think Minnesota. I see that's tough. I really do like Minnesota's squad a lot, but that is a tough number to be like. Minnesota's going to have more wins than the Thunder, and almost as many as the Spurs and Rockets.
Yeah, like that's tough to say, right?
That's a tough category. So I just want to knock that one out real quick, but
the pen.
Oh,
we're trying to get a pen here. So
I was like shaking my cord. I was like, "What do you want?"
So I just thought that'd be interesting to see what you guys thought about that. I like that you brought that to the table.
I'm going to write down after what we did.
Yeah, we'll go back and listen to it, see who bet on what, and see how we did. But back to the Patriots real quick. Now that there's much more
16
to say,
and 0.
Okay.
Oh, I thought
over. I'm
Yeah,
taking the
all right.
over. Yeah. Yeah, that injury sucks. But it kind of comes back to what we talked about last week. You didn't like the giving up a first for Brandon Cooks. And I said, well, I think any opportunity you have for a chance to get better, you take that deal. And now it pays dividends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
now
real happy we have Brandon Cooks now.
Exactly right. And not that
Again,
there's any
though.
way Bill would know or whatever.
Listen, this is what I said when the Giants were like, "I can't believe you said they're just going to be fine without it." I was like, "Listen, I know you guys just completely disrespect the AFC East all the time."
Yeah, and you should this year.
And I defend the AFC East like it's not as bad as you guys point out. This year, it's as bad.
It's so bad.
It is the worst it's ever been since I've been a Pats fan. It's the weakest.
That's really true.
The Jets are very serious contenders to not win a game this year.
I'm also hearing there's a possibility they're entertaining trade talks for their best player.
The Bills...
Harrison, their defensive tackle.
Oh my God, of course they are.
The Bills are...
Jesus Christ.
The Bills are punting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
In
they already
general.
are.
They're like, fuck it, we're not...
Yeah.
We're not doing anything.
The only thing they want to keep is their running back. Everything else is up for
there were
sale.
rumors they were going to trade LaShawn.
Jesus.
So
Yeah, no, that's true. He might go to the Packers.
yeah.
But either back to the Eagles or the Packers. Which, if he goes to the Packers, who child?
I don't know. I really like Ty Montgomery this year as fantasy.
I don't.
I do.
I hate Ty Montgomery.
I think he's going to be really good.
I
He's
had
added
him-
weight. He looks like a real running back preseason. And if you're in a PPR, now you're getting a little Joe's fantasy field goal since you didn't have one this week.
Right.
If you're in a PPR, half point PPR,
I don't love it.
I would take Ty.
I don't like the
think
fact
he
that
leaves the field.
they drafted 2 running backs.
Yeah, but because they had no depth. But I don't think he leaves the field. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know
Maybe
about
in goal line. So maybe
Who's a better running back, Ty Montgomery or LaShawn McCoy?
Oh, Sean McCoy.
Okay, right. That's what I'm saying. So
I
if
know-
you want to get
I
LaShawn
know,
McCoy,
but-
I think that's incredible. You know what I mean?
I would see you might not have to trade any assets though. Why trade assets if you think you can have
What if you traded Ty Montgomery for LaShawn McCoy?
I mean, yeah, if
Like, why the fuck not? The Bills are just
if the Bills
who
are
knows?
willing to take that trade,
Right,
then
right. Yeah, and who knows? They're like,
But
it's
I
a
think you
salary
should
jump.
see what you get out of Ty Montgomery. He hasn't had a real shot.
I listen to your podcast when you do it, and I've heard you go on this Ty Montgomery thing, and I still wrote literally on my cheat sheet, I don't care, and with a red line, don't draft him. He was on if he fell to me in the 20th round.
You should
which we
take
don't
Ty
do,
Montgomery.
I was not going to take him. I would have been like, I need another kicker.
That's a very poor choice.
I've got 3
I
kickers.
do not like
I
it.
just
I
can't do
don't condone that kind of behavior.
Who has a better year, Ty Montgomery or Mike Gillislee? Fantasy point wise.
That's tough. It's
I'll even
so
give you-
tough to predict Patriots running backs.
I'll even give you PPR. A PPR fantasy. league.
PPR too. Oh my god. I might say Ty Montgomery.
Okay. All right. You want to put a 4-pack on that?
PPR? We'll just track PPR points?
Sure. Yeah. Like
I
have a PPR league, so we'll just
Yeah, I'm in a
check this
PPR
out.
league, so
Okay.
I'll just
Yeah, we'll
whoever
check this
finishes
out.
higher at the end.
We'll put a 4-pack.
I'll put a 4-pack on it.
A 4-pack of cheeseburger sliders.
What?
I don't know.
I was going to say Down East cider.
Pick it Down
but,
East. That's what I was thinking in my mind, and I was like, well, the traditional thing's a 6-pack, but I said 4 because of fucking Down East.
The only other 4-pack I know is those lemonades.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
They're like $15
what is it?
for a 4-pack.
Citizen cider.
Sip of sunshine.
Yeah, there you go. 4-pack of
Some kind of beer that's
we'll
way
do 4 or
fancier than the
6-pack,
typical
whatever.
beer I
Yeah.
drank.
If it's a 4-pack, all right. If I win, you buy me a 4-pack of Down East.
All right.
What do you drink for beer?
I drank the shittiest beer possible.
Okay, so I'll probably buy you a 30 because that'll be like
No.
equal-
30 pack
equal
of Down
dollar.
East.
we'll take
30
Down East
pack.
either way.
Down East either way. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I was going to say a 30 rack of
Down East,
natty,
Down East
natty
is
ice.
cider, right?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a balk.
It wasn't that
It
idiotic.
wasn't that bad. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've tried to just hit that button after like a bold statement like that.
By
Like,
me.
okay.
It is never. I feel like it's never by. It's just like, when does Joe say something? And now.
And that's a balk.
That's all right.
That's a balk. So
I see what you're doing, Dave. I'm catching on.
yeah, and it's going to be quick. It's just the people that got all over the fight between McGregor and Mayweather
For stopping it.
and for the ref stopping it. McGregor obviously was not defending himself anymore.
Yeah.
I understand his point about that. Well, at least let me hit the ground, let me go down, whatever, yada yada. But I think that just fuels the like it's so rigged. That fight should have been stopped. That fight to me wasn't rigged. That fight, I agree with what you're saying that there's no way Mayweather would have lost by decision there.
Yeah, it would never happen.
But I don't think that the ref stopped that fight. He says, "I've got to make sure Mayweather wins." Like he owned him for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like
I knew it was coming. Like,
right. And that's everything we talked
Like
about.
I even was saying to my as I was watching, like, you got to put your hands up or throw a punch, or they're
Yeah.
going to stop the fight. It's just like in UFC. If
yeah.
you know, when the guy turtles and he's holding his head and they're throwing the punches on.
Yep.
If you don't start
something
moving,
soon,
they're going
yeah.
to stop the fight. So if you can't lift your hands up,
Right. That was
he's
a
not just
really-
going to let you keep getting tagged in the face.
That was a fine stoppage. You know what I mean? That's
Like,
exactly
I know what
when it's
Connor is
supposed to be.
saying. he said
he was saying, I have a clear head now. It didn't affect me. Fatigue isn't damage or whatever. He's like, I'm fine, which I understand. That he's like, I was just tired.
And in the post-fight thing, he's like, I have a patch in all my fights where I get really fatigued, and then I usually find a second wind, and then I can perform.
Right.
Like when they were doing the training videos, you saw Paulie Malignaggi and Conor. They showed Conor knock down Paulie. That was in the 12th.
Yeah, right.
So Conor had made it 12 rounds.
Right.
And I'm sure there were rounds earlier before the 12th where he was getting tired.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he probably did get when you get into your corner and they say, all right, it's the last round.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might get
you
a
get an
second
adrenaline rush,
and then you go out there and fire. But he wasn't going to make it.
No. Like I said, I thought he barely got out of the ninth. He
did barely get out of the ninth.
He held on to Mayweather at the right times to kind of save himself some time off the clock, because I think if there was another 30 seconds in that round, I think it would have been stopped.
He could barely even stand on his own. He was it wasn't punches from Mayweather. That narrative that Mayweather was
beat the hell out of him or something. No.
He had been tagged harder during the match.
Right.
He wasn't knocked out on his feet.
Right. And Mayweather landed some impressive punches.
Oh yeah.
He did. He did. And for a guy that's known more for point scoring and just tapping his way through, there was a lot more power generated.
I'm sure Conor has taken much worse hits.
Absolutely right. There's no way that a shin kick to the head,
doesn't
hurt worse than Floyd Mayweather.
He wasn't, and like he said, it's not the punches.
Right.
He's clear. I don't think he was just exhausted.
Right.
Like when we were predicting the fight, I did not honestly see him gassing that hard. Like I thought he would gas.
Yeah, no, that happened fast.
I
Like
thought
the fifth round happened, and it was like over.
I would even argue it was later than that. Like he started getting how much he gassed in the fifth round was how I thought he would end up at the end of the fight.
At the end of the fight, right.
But then after it was literally halfway through the ninth round. It was like,
oh, he had nothing left.
It was like, I'm done.
You could just see the power after 5 was way down. You know what I mean? Like,
after 5, you could tell he was tired.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is going to be the rest of the fight. Like, he was going to stay at this exhaustion.
Yeah.
But
level. Then he hit a wall.
But halfway through the ninth, it was like, I can't even lift my arms to defend myself anymore.
He was exhausted.
But the thing is, so they end the ninth. He barely gets through. He's like holding on Floyd. Go watch the start of the 10th round.
Came out good.
He comes out and he throws quick punches, and then it's immediately like, all right, I'm done again.
Right.
I'm gonna start.
I think he spent it. I think he got that adrenaline rush, and then it was just, like you said, also there's a lot of mental exhaustion that I think plays into your physical state too. Yeah. And I think when you're throwing a bunch of punches, and if you're just not connecting the way you're hoping when you go through a fury like that.
Now and then sort of you notice he started getting hit more, and it has to do with how physically exhausted he is, but now he can't even mentally react to what Floyd is putting out there to dodge punches. Your reaction time goes down. All that stuff.
So now it's a snowball effect,
and it's just going to get worse. That's why it's perfect. It's perfect for the ref to stop the fight where he did. There's no need for Conor to get blasted a bunch more times.
Is not to beat someone to death.
No,
you know what I mean. It's a violent sport. It's a brutal sport, but the ref is there to protect the fighter as well as you can for a combat sport like that.
Like if Conor really wanted it to go longer, just pick your hands up.
Yeah, throw a punch. Throw a jab. Punch every now and then, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, he literally backed his way.
Turn and run.
Right.
Like you did against he did it against Diaz a couple times where he ducked under a punch and he would walk away and catch his breath. Right. Do it.
Yeah. And you saw McGregor kind of do that, but he was backpedaling. Yeah. And they rounded the whole ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he was leaning against the ropes.
Right. And it was ugly. It wasn't well coordinated.
Now, the only other thing that I've heard come out of this fight is, what is it? Pretty Boy there. Not Pretty Boy. Oscar De La Hoya came out because he's promoting the next upcoming fight between Triple G and...
Is it Canelo?
Canelo,
yeah.
And he basically said, this is bad for boxing. You've taken all the heat away from guys that are in their prime, that are actually going to go for titles, that are actually going to keep boxing. Yeah. They're not doing it just for a fucking payday.
Oscar De La Hoya deserves a Balk Talk on his own. There's in no effing way is it bad for boxing. Triple G gets 150 pay-per-view buys.
Right.
He's been a great boxer for... a year and a half, years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been at the top of the sport. He just doesn't sell. Canelo's the same way. He sells to the Mexican crowd. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is...
This is bringing more eyes to boxing.
I was going to say the one thing up until before he decided he's going to actually do the fight with Mayweather, that was the first time I started to really hear about Triple G and guys like that.
Right.
Like, obviously, the other guy I'd heard about before.
Right, Canelo, yeah.
But I'd never heard about
Did you
Triple
want? If
G
they wanted to
before.
help boxing, they should have put Triple G and Canelo
On that card.
Right.
Yep.
You want everyone to see this guy Triple G. You want everyone to see this guy Canelo. Put them on that card.
Right. That's
they-
And if you really want to help boxing, co-main event it.
Yeah. That's true.
Even you know what you should even do.
I think it's good. the way it is.
Sandwich Connor and Floyd. Like I know Floyd would probably never let that happen,
Right,
where he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
the last
He's
fight
not
on
that-
the card.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted to help boxing, if Floyd Mayweather really wanted to do it, he would have Triple G and Canelo in front of him, and he would have another big bout with top guys right after him,
Now, see,
and try and get eyes.
I think it worked because I consider myself a fan of boxing, but I don't follow boxing, so I don't know what
I don't
people
buy
are
all the
fighting.
pay-per-views.
Right, I don't buy the
and stuff
pay-per-view
like that,
stuff,
but I know who boxes.
When there's a big fight
boxers,
coming,
yeah.
I like to watch it. Whatever.
Like
'cause I
I'll
enjoy
probably
the sport.
watch Triple G Canelo.
I wouldn't have because I didn't know it was happening.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I do now because they promoted it
Yeah.
during the fight. You know what I mean? They're like, and now in 3 weeks, a real great matchup, blah 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 blah, whatever. And Canelo versus Triple G. And I
It's
was like,
like,
I'm actually pumped for that now
it's
because it's
like-
it's something to look forward to as a boxing.
What's the biggest
observer.
time slot in television if you're starting a new television show?
Is it Friday nights?
No,
Sunday nights.
the show that immediately follows the Super Bowl.
Oh right. Oh yeah. I got you.
Stay
I thought you meant,
tuned
like,
for
on a
this
weekly basis.
newest,
Right.
the first episode of whatever immediately following the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why? Because you'll never have more eyes on the television screen than you
Right.
do during the Super Bowl.
Yep. I thought you meant on a weekly basis, but
No,
yeah,
just
you're right. Yeah, in general.
And
yeah.
this is boxing Super Bowl. This is there's never going to be more eyes. There was
it's
the
like a
fight was
3-year Super Bowl.
illegally streamed.
Right.
100 million.
Streams.
There are 100 million illegal streams.
They could.
That's just what they
I don't
tracked.
know. I don't know about one of them.
Yeah, don't even.
No, but what you could do is like what you're saying, making more of like a super show out of it, super fights,
Right.
Yeah.
plural, like they did with like the UFC 100. They
Yeah.
brought a Brock Lesnar. There was also other big name fights on that fight. UFC 200. They brought in Brock Lesnar just to throw him in there as a super
Yeah,
fight.
didn't Conor
with-
fight UFC 200?
Yeah, Conor was there. So you have all these big names, not just one or two names, and that's it.
Yeah.
You bring in, you just kind of roll out the red carpet.
You're trying to get
There's
your
no
fans.
great. There's no great heavyweight. Let's be honest.
Right.
That's what kills
Right.
boxing
I don't
right
know.
now.
There's a good heavyweight matchup, and one of them is a Mayweather guy.
Oh, one of his promotions or whatever.
Deontay Wilder is a Mayweather heavyweight, and he's a champ. He holds a belt.
Yeah.
There's another dude, Anthony Joshua from the UK, who just
But haven't
knocked
the
out.
Klitschko brothers like dominated the
He
heavyweight?
just knocked out the Klitschko.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not the guy that was the champ.
He was. He knocked out the Klitschko champ. Like Anthony Joshua holds 2 belts. Deontay Wilder holds a 3rd.
Okay.
And Deontay Wilder is a Mayweather guy. Now, I think the Anthony Joshua fight happened too close for them to like turn around and put it on the card.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to bring attention to boxing,
Yeah.
putting 2 young heavyweight champions against each other
Right.
on as a lead up to that fight,
Yeah.
that would be huge for boxing to get people. And Anthony Joshua, I've never seen Deontay Wilder fight, but Anthony Joshua is a really, really good boxer. Like very. That and the fight he had with Klitschko was a fucking great fight.
I gotta check
He
it out.
knocked down Klitschko. Klitschko knocked him down. Then he got back and knocked down Klitschko again.
Nice. Yeah.
He
that's
landed
cool.
this fucking uppercut on Klitschko that sent his arms fucking.
Really?
Klitschko's arms go crazy.
No shit. Yeah, I gotta check that.
It was a
out.
great fight,
But
and he stopped him.
yeah, I gotta check that out.
He stopped Klitschko.
Yeah.
And then Klitschko retired.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the next logical fight for him is Wilder, who's a Mayweather guy, to
Right.
put on a Mayweather to the biggest Mayweather fight.
Right. Yeah. No shit. That would have been good.
I just think that the time off between
Right.
fights wouldn't have made sense.
It doesn't make sense. That's the one thing that's tough about boxing, or even MMA. But there's so much downtime.
Yeah, you
know what I
can't
mean?
just
So
turn
it's
around
tough to
and fight
follow
again.
a fighter because
Because
they got
it's
to wait
a
8
lot
months
of
or a year and a half.
Well, I was
for
going
the
to say,
fight.
what's his name got a automatic 6 months? McGregor. He cannot fight.
Yeah.
The Nevada Athletic Commission will not
Yeah,
commission
they
him
put him on
for 6 months.
medical suspension.
For 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but the point is of the box,
Which is
talk,
good.
it
They
was
should do that to people.
Right, yeah.
That go 10 rounds taking all those punches. You should take some time off.
Right. But the point of the Balk Talk was the fight stopped right where it should have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just the people that are like, oh, this, he's in the bag or whatever. It's like, this is so stupid. Like, it's a good fight. And everyone's like, oh, of course, now Mayweather's retiring because da-da-da-da-da. What are they? I'm like, no, he came out of retirement to do one fight.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, that was
He got
the
to
deal.
50-0. He did what he
right.
wanted to.
Yeah, of course he's done. Like, why wouldn't
This is
he
what
be?
it was for.
Right. Yeah. The mission statement's mission accomplished. Now
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather's going to go lay in bed tonight with a fucking $200 million or whatever.
Yeah. He's done
Be good to
fighting.
go. Yeah. So that's that. Now we can move on.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
Okay, so we're going to talk about how the hurricane down in Houston, Hurricane Harvey, I
Yeah.
believe it is. The Patriots just recently donated $1 million towards the fund that J.J. Watt's trying to start up here.
Did they donated it to J.J. Watt?
I think it's either J.J. Watt or to or it might have been Red Cross.
Yeah,
might have
I
been
think
Red
it was
Cross.
just like a direct donation.
I think it was Red. I think they donated $1 million, and so did the Jets.
Yep.
Well, what's the Cowboys doing? They canceled the game, so Houston players can go deal with their families and figure out stuff.
I saw a meme, but I don't know if it means that the Cowboys did anything. Like a Dallas lifting up Houston meme, but I don't know if that meant that they actually were doing something.
They haven't done anything yet. The Dallas Cowboys. Have
Oh
not
yeah,
done
I don't know.
anything yet.
I don't know.
Cameron Fleming, Danny Amendola, Eric Rowe, and Eldon
Landon Roberts.
I don't know why, because I try to say his name.
And Landon.
Landon.
It's a weird Landon. I kept
Landon
saying
Roberts.
Landon Roberts for
Yeah.
the longest time, but it's Landon.
Landon Roberts are all from the Houston area.
Yeah.
They're all from there, and I guess there's been reports from Patriots camp that like everybody just keeps huddling up around them every day to talk to them, kind of like check in on them, see how their families are doing, because they're all from that area. That they might not live there,
but they have
family that
and
lives there.
friends and-
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just so confused by the fact.
Well, the Patriots have a direct tie to Houston.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is the team that the league wants to like shit on was one of the first ones to say, yeah, no. Well, here's $1 million. We're not even.
Yeah.
It's not even in our state. Here's $1 million.
Yeah.
We don't mind helping.
Robert Kraft is like the epitome of class.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I think people forget, and I think that most people kind of shit on with the Patriots.
Well, yeah, because they think he's a cheater and he employs a cheater, and
yeah, but he's not though, and
Yeah.
he does come off sometimes as like, yeah, he's got a lot of money, so he kind of does what he wants. Yeah, but he does it in a nice way. It's not Jerry Jones-esque where he buys this massive stadium and wants to make people pay $500,000 to buy for the rights to buy front row seats at his new stadium.
yeah.
Like he seems to care about the community and the people.
Well, yeah, it helps that he started as a fan too. Like he was a longtime Patriots fan before he had the chance to buy the team. So,
and also I want to give a big round of applause to Gerald Green on his Instagram page, driving around Houston in his big pickup, trying to help people and employ, just asking for people in the state of Texas. If you got a boat, let me know. I got my truck. I can come get it. I will buy it off you.
So
I want to help people.
the thing with Houston,
it's underwater.
but I don't understand. So I don't really follow the news because it's depressing.
I also don't have cable.
Yeah, I don't have cable either. They got hit with a hurricane.
Yes.
But it's the rain though. It's not like
it's just
they're not
flooding.
like a coastal city.
Flooding.
So do they just not have a
literally-
good system to handle?
Oh yeah, they don't have enough system to handle what they got.
All right.
It's literally like if you can picture going into like New Haven.
Houston isn't a coastal city, right? It's inland.
No, I don't think it's a little bit. I do believe it's more inland than it is.
So it's not like
on the coast,
like New Orleans, where it's like right on the water.
No, where they have like levees to keep it back. No, this is more inland. If you can picture New Haven, they redid all of it, and there's like it's like 2 or 3 stories up.
Yeah,
just picture the top one is just sitting on top of water, and all of everything underneath it is like they did. I've seen a couple of photos where it's like, oh, here's the on ramp to another like highway, and then there's another highway going over that, and another highway going over that.
Yeah,
the on ramp, the first highway, and like this, and up to the second highway are all underwater, and like people trying to drive over the highway, the top highway, to like get anywhere are having issues because the bridges are starting to give out. So it's like, it's just crazy. It's pandemonium. I've also heard reports of, people shooting people that have a boat because they're trying to get the hell out of there. So
did
it's
they
like,
not evacuate the city?
I don't think they evacuated quick enough.
Most of the evacuation issues there was that they didn't anticipate there to be as much rainfall as there was.
So it's supposed to be more this week or something like that.
Right, yeah, it's good. The hurricane's kind of coming back. It's doing one of those spiral effect things.
Where it just kind of sits over the...
Yeah. So, but the problem with the flooding was that they got it wrong. The weathermen were just like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. And then all of a sudden it's like, here comes a fucking foot of rain. And now you got 8 feet of water in the streets because, as you're saying, the sewage, or not sewage, but
they weren't equipped for...
They weren't ready for that.
The thing is, I've seen this happen like on a much smaller scale in New London.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Broad Street.
It was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Street. Broad Street, right in front of
Broad
Street.
And
Bank Street, Broad Street, the same day.
Yeah.
You couldn't get anywhere.
Right.
Bank Street, it was up. I saw a VW Bug disappear, just like drive right into this water that it clearly didn't see, or maybe they thought it was a small puddle.
Yeah.
Like right at that intersection outside of Walgreens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was just up to the windshield, in seconds. And I was like...
That's tough.
And I think all that was they didn't turn on the pump fast enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the rain fell and it was hard, and they just didn't hit the button to start pumping water fast enough, and it backed up.
I would say, I heard you guys saying too about the them being coastal or not. They're not like on the shore,
but they're not.
But they're kind of like Norwich.
Yeah,
for us, you know what I mean. Like they're like you could. It looks like about a 30 minute ride.
This
off
isn't
the coast,
like
but it's not
ocean water. Like that's flooded.
I don't know. I don't know how bad it is. Like
this is rainwater. Like it's not.
I mean, we're focusing on they're focusing on like because it's flooded there and they can't get rid of it fast enough.
Right.
And there's still just tons of it.
Right.
But like all the area around them, I'm sure is roughed up too.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just the city that's underwater.
Yeah.
Like where everybody would go to get stuff, they can't.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And I've seen people like I've seen like famous people in the surrounding area that aren't or that are more inland. I've seen because the hashtag and stuff, and you just follow the trails. You see like I have a friend that lives in Austin, and she's like, yeah, I have some friends that live in the area. They were able to get out before they really got hit. Yeah, but they can't get back in now. Like
right.
it's just everything's just underwater.
I heard somewhere that it's going to take a long time to rebuild Houston.
Right.
Oh yeah,
right.
And then JJ Watt doing the big.
Right.
He was
going to match up to $200,000. He got over $4 million like in a couple days, day or two, whatever. So he's like, all right, let's bring it to 5, and then now he's up over 5, right?
Yeah, I think he's at 6 now. He wants to go for 10.
Shit, let's go to 10 or whatever. So that's quite the investment.
Yeah, he's going to have to live there, so I think he wants.
Of course, yeah.
He probably already is. Well, we can't compare because we don't know. But go ahead.
Like I know, this, like serious stuff is going on in Houston, but let's turn it towards sports for a second. Was their stadium affected? Is it underwater?
They're saying there's a possibility they won't have their first game. I think their first game is supposed to be a home game, they're saying there's a possibility they won't have a first.
It's not like the
Is it-
Superdome.
is
It's
it-
not like that.
Yeah, it's not like
Because their stadium actually is in Houston.
it's outside of it.
It's a little bit outside of it.
So it's probably not the fact that their stadium is affected. It's probably
no
no one can
one's-
get there.
No one's going to be
Right.
able to get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Everyone- You'd have to hope that
You'd have to have like that Baltimore Orioles game when they had the riots there and they just like played it in no crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah. That was weird.
and I
That
don't
was a
think
really
the NFL
weird
would
game.
want that.
Also, I don't think you can fly into Houston. Like,
Right.
you probably can't.
Right.
You'd have to fly
It'd
into
be-
Dallas and
It'd
then
be
drive.
you'd be pointless to fly into Houston because
Right.
you can't get anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the point, is that there's nothing there, and the people that are there are going to try to rebuild. They're not
Yeah.
worried about a football game.
Right. Yeah. How many
So I
people
think,
are,
you know what I mean? Like, even if you're a millionaire, you're still, your business is going to need to rebuild your business.
Right.
You're going to have to make sure your employees are okay.
It's going to be like that for a while.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what baffles my mind about it. Like I said, that Jerry Jones is just, he's like, there's a report on ESPN that tomorrow, on Thursday, they're going to start making a decision on how they can help.
Yeah, what the plan is, yeah.
They were debating on whether they were going to cancel the game or not. They finally did.
Right, yeah.
The last
It's a
preseason
no-brainer.
game.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. It was in Dallas.
Right.
But Houston, let the Houston players go home, figure stuff out.
Right. I'm actually going to. My girlfriend started a GoFundMe for animals that are trapped there because people are leaving
I
their
have a friend
dogs.
that's driving down. She is
Yeah.
driving all the way down
Right.
to go help
Yeah.
get the dogs out.
Because people are just leaving their animals or whatever. And so now you got all these fucking dogs or cats or whatever, but, like just pets abandoned in literally 4 to 8 feet of water in some places or whatever. And it's just ridiculous. So my girlfriend started GoFundMe. I'm going to put that on our page too. So she actually is buddied up with I forget the name of the organization now, but they're working on trying to help get the animals out of there or whatever. So if the listeners want to help, the same way we're talking about how the Crafts have and all these players or whatever, if you guys want to help, at least from the pets' point of view, some people are more touched by animals' well-being than, than humans.
Yeah.
So
My fiance.
right, yeah, I know a lot of people like that.
I was going to say, I saw a video today of a guy
carrying a dog.
No, it wasn't even that. It was literally a children's pool blown up, and it had like 7 dogs in it.
Really?
And the guy was just pushing it down the
Letting it
street.
float down the street. Yeah,
and
yeah.
trying to get them to somewhere
Right,
to
right.
like get them to people
Yeah. Holy
and
cow.
get them out of there.
Probably having a blast. Just swimming. Some dogs love swimming.
Yeah, but there's probably not a lot of food.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You worry about food secondary.
Live off the
swimming.
land. Is their natural
Swimming. We
habitat.
gotta go swimming.
But yeah, no, a great thing that J.J. Watt has done, put together, and the contributions around the league and from whatever every dollar he's
I
got
don't
is
like
money
J.J.
goes-
Watt.
I don't either. But
I like him.
It's,
I like him.
It's he can say Corey Dillon's a great player, knows he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I hate J.J. Watt. He's doing a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's easy to.
He's
this
just
isn't-
such a tryhard.
He really is, and I hate to say that this even fits that a little bit.
It does.
but it's a good thing.
No, yeah,
It's,
he should. Like, I'm glad he's doing it.
Yeah, and he should be doing it, being that he's the face of the franchise and that
I
town
just
or whatever. Like,
imagine
it's the right thing.
his
to do.
Instagram video was like him flipping a tire, and
Right,
then he was
yeah.
just like, "Hey, do you want to donate to Houston?
Exactly, yeah,
Flood
right.
relief. Hold on.
Donate. Yeah. If you donate, I'll sign autographs all night.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever you need me to do. So.
Hold on while I do this jump onto these boxes that are stacked taller than me,
But
and then flip 10 tires at once."
I just wanted him
It's
to
a
be
great
like,
cause.
you remember back in like the 80s when freaking LT put on he right before he went outside, like
Yeah.
after a game, he put on like a Superman cape.
yeah.
I just want him to dress up as like Captain America and like
Right.
run out to a game.
Yeah.
Like I want him to do something like that.
He would get ridiculed to the high heaven if he dressed like Captain America.
Or
and
just
ran
wear a
out.
Superman cape as he ran out.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, it'd be so
you
amazing.
want,
better.
You want J.J.
Oh,
Watt
so
to
amazing.
be even more unbearable.
He comes out with
not
like
better.
a Superman cape.
At the end of his
better.
Houston video, he just magically pulls like a Letterman jacket out of nowhere and throws it on. Asks some girl to go steady with him and like walks off.
That'd be amazing.
Right.
It'd be awful.
Not better.
And then
No, it's not better.
And then Clowney just comes out with a Robin.
He breaks
cape
his
and they
own
come
nose just to look tough, just like right on.
out. No.
Am I
it's-
bleeding?
No. He always gets his nose split.
Yeah,
He breaks
he
his
does
nose
it on purpose.
He breaks his nose during a game, re-straightens it himself, and then goes, "You gonna donate?"
He does the old WWE trick with the razor to the nose. He does it, and I'm convinced.
This is still not better.
Yeah.
So let's just move on. But that is a good cause.
And props to JJ Watt.
And shame
Jerry
on
Jones,
JJ because
he's going to come out with a special Houston flood relief
Yeah.
Letterman jacket just for his first game.
Before we go into closing time, let's stop for clothing time. Go to facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. That's the letters NE Weather Clothing Co. Or you can go to anyweatherclothingco.com. Check out the Facebook store, facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. Go in the shop. You can find exclusive B.S. Nerds merchandise there, a hat and a t-shirt as of right now, with much more to come. Also, check out the other clothes he has. He also has a retro throwback shirt. He's got something for Foxwoods now, and he also has his own brand going. Go to anyweatherclothingco.com or facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco and use the exclusive BS Nerds discount code, which is the letters B.S.N. ERDS and then the number 17. That's BS Nerds 17, and you have to capitalize the BSN. So that's capital B, capital S, capital N, ERDS 17.
It's closing time, nerds.
All right. Joe, what do you got for a... I'm really interested in this. What do you have for a closing time this week?
So I put...
Oh.
So I didn't put out a podcast this weekend. Or this week. I don't put out podcasts on the weekend ever, but I didn't put out a podcast this Tuesday. I'm getting married in September later.
Oh, fuck you.
And I have some stuff to do for the wedding this week.
You're not the wife. You're not the
Listen,
bride. You don't need a
What
month
color are the
leading
flowers?
up.
What color are the flowers, Joe?
They're probably light blue, but I wasn't there for that. So yeah, I was busy and I didn't have time, but I did dish out probably the most important fantasy advice that I've put out.
Which is what?
Which is I put at the end of my post on Facebook apologizing.
Yeah.
And it was 3 players I'm not feeling great about this year.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman, Cameron Meredith, and Spencer Ware.
Take that for data.
If I was a betting man, I would say that they are not going to help you win your fantasy league.
Probably not.
So,
although I am thinking about picking up Julian Edelman
as a keeper,
put him on the IR
stash
spot,
him on the IR,
and he would cost me a 10th round pick next year.
Actually, here is actually a tip. Always have your IR spot filled.
Always, yeah.
It costs you nothing.
Right.
There's someone on the waiver wire who's hurt, and he doesn't take up a roster spot for any of your other people. So if everyone on your team is healthy, find someone who's not and put them in that IR spot.
Or suspended.
So put the IR spot in ESPN and Yahoo, I think.
In ESPN, you just had to be marked as out.
Yeah, but suspended is marked as suspended, not as out. It's marked as SSP.
You're right. Yeah.
So you can't put them in the IR spot.
Bullshit.
I'm dead serious.
All right, keep going. I'm going to challenge this.
You cannot do it.
Doug Martin on my roster right now.
Yeah, he's going to have to stay right there on your roster. You can't put him in the IR spot. It has to have the little O next to him.
All right, keep going.
But
so it was wrong of me to cut him?
To cut who?
Doug Martin?
Amendola?
Edelman?
Edelman, sorry.
Well, are you in a keeper league?
No.
Then it's
Absolutely
fine.
Not.
This doesn't apply to me.
No, it does, because there might be someone who's out right now who might come back later in the year.
So like... Oh, okay,
like
so
Ezekiel,
I could. So I have
no.
He's
suspended.
He's suspended.
You can't put him on the IR spot.
You.
No, I was gonna say
sure?
like
I'm
I
positive.
have. Like I have. I ended up drafting 2 QBs.
Yeah,
and I'm stashing Luck on my bench.
Like Luck is out right now, so if for some reason he didn't get drafted in your league.
Yeah,
you can stack him away. Stash him away, yeah.
You're right about that.
Yeah, I know I am.
That's a fact.
You cannot put the suspended guy.
That's why he's our fantasy football guy.
I think there is a league, maybe NFL.com, which shocker there. They let you they let you bend the rules with the suspended guys.
Cater to suspensions.
Yeah. There is a league that lets you put suspended players on the IR, but it's not Yahoo or ESPN, which are like the two main ones.
Interesting factoid.
Yeah. So, but yes, if there is someone who's hurt right now who is coming back,
pick him up.
Pick him up and stash him, because
if you have an IR spot,
when eventually he comes back,
have one.
Don't know.
Yeah, if you have an IR slot.
Yeah.
If he comes back and he's good, like I did it with the kid Kenneth Dixon last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I had him on my IR slot for like the entire year until he got healthy and came back, because he hurt his knee, but not bad enough where he's going to miss the whole season.
Right.
So he was just sitting out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I locked him down, and then when he was finally healthy, I just made the decision whether he was good enough to break the roster or not.
Right.
Also, I was in a keeper league, so right before the season ended, I went on to the waiver wire. I picked up Keenan Allen, who was a free agent, put him on the IR slot.
Perfect.
I picked up C.J. Anderson, who was also hurt for the year, and threw him on the IR spot.
Nice.
And then I made the keeper decision after. I
I
ended up cutting both of them. But
I think I'm going to try and do that with Edelman.
Yeah. It doesn't take up a spot for the year.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Will Fuller will be coming back.
So when that happens,
he's in my
you could
IR, and then I'll just
you can make a
move
roster
Edelman down.
decision with Will Fuller, and then
move Edelman down.
Yeah,
good to go.
There you go.
I think I already cut him.
Will Fuller.
If you're in a redraft league, unless the guy is coming back, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. So, what did you got for closing time?
So, I record a podcast.
Two.
Yeah.
TM,
And,
because I recorded a podcast this week is
right.
That's trademarked.
I put out a podcast.
I put out a podcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Gerald put out a podcast this week called, it was our 4th episode of the WECP, and we named it The Four Horsemen in honor of the Four Horsemen and Ric Flair getting healthier, I guess. He had a whole crazy health situation. I'm assuming it's gotten better because Charlotte's back on the road with the WWE, and she's out there signing autographs and shaking babies and kissing hands. And
I hope not. Shaking babies.
It only takes 20 seconds.
There you go. All right. I don't know why you know that.
But no, I felt it was a really strong episode this week.
It
was really funny. If you listened and you listened to the end, the outro every week, I change it. This week's was the Four Horsemen's theme song, entrance theme from WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And next 2 weeks from now, you'll hear another episode. I have another 80s, 90s. You don't know.
No, I don't. Yeah,
entrance theme. I got some piled up, ready to go for the next I probably have about 8 or 9 lined up. So
I probably won't even be there for that one because my young butterfly has blossomed into being able to produce his own show.
You don't need to come anymore.
I don't need to come anymore.
I mean, you came this week just to.
I had some fantasy stuff to work on, but. Yeah, no, the show was great. I really do enjoy your program a lot, or your podcast or program, whatever. I do think it's really good. It's one of the better results we get on a weekly basis. So, as a guy that's trying to move this thing forward, I appreciate your show a lot because I think it draws a lot of attention and it fits a really, really cool niche market. And I think you guys do a really good job of hitting that demo, you know what I mean? Like you hit the wrestling fans, the comic book fans, the comic book movie stuff like that. So anyone that's into that kind of stuff, it's a must listen. You and Jerry just have a really dynamic chemistry, and it's a really, really good podcast. So
I don't know. It puts me in a different way. I'm able to, not be as cynical.
Yeah, you don't have to be as combative or argue.
No, I mean I can, but
yeah, right.
It's going to be more about like. How granted, most of the stuff that I hate on the show is the way I feel about somebody anyway.
Right. That's what I was going to say. What we do here is sort of like a reaction to what happened.
Yeah.
What you do there is talk about the things you like. You know what I mean? Which is a little different. You pick and choose what you like.
We did a little bit of it, like a SummerSlam recap. Just like, hey, what'd you think of this guy? What'd you think of that? Oh, this guy got buried. This guy did really well. I liked how they did this ending. I didn't like how they did this ending.
Right.
Xavier Woods still sucks. Like, all that shit.
Of course.
The usual.
Yeah.
And, and just trying to pump out the best thing I can to help us, and also
I love it.
It's
good. Well, I'm going to put this out there. I too put out a podcast also. Dave Speaks, hashtag Dave Speaks will be coming back this week. As I said, I'm on the bi-weekly plan. I'm on the off weeks of WCP. So it's going to be just me this week. No guest. It'll be kind of old school hashtag Dave Speaks, where I'm going to just go in on a topic. It's going to be Red Sox related, and it's not Dustin Pedroia. So
you don't want me to come on and badmouth whatever you're saying?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't.
All right, you don't need that.
It's just I'm falling in love a little bit, and I need to express my feelings. I think I need to get it out there.
All right.
And
does it involve scissors?
Yeah, in a weird way.
Does it involve scissors?
It involves scissors in a weird way. Yeah.
Are you gonna start running with them, or? And you're not supposed to.
Not yet.
I'm playing with house money.
I think it depends
this past couple weeks,
yeah,
man.
You're out of control.
You're
out of control.
I'm trying at this point. Driving fast, taking chances.
How'd the pallet jack 180 go? Did you do it?
No.
Did you try it?
I was going to. I wanted to so bad.
As your lead, don't do it. But as your friend, figure it out. You got to figure that out. But yeah, so there will be a hashtag Dave Speaks coming back next week, or this weekend coming up on Sunday, and also a little bit of a schedule change for us next week. I think we're probably going to be recording on Saturday next week, right? Is that what we're looking at?
That's what we're looking at.
So we'll be a couple days late, but I think if my schedule's lined up here, right, that puts us right after the Patriots game.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be able to recap the Pats game.
Yeah.
And because they play
in
Thursday.
College football, too.
College football will be a week under the belt. And so I think that day actually works because, we can watch the Pats play. We get some insight. And especially if we did it like on Wednesday and didn't get the Pats game in and then had to talk about next Thursday, Thursday, we have a whole week go by, without Patriots talk, So and they would have played in the meantime. So I'd rather not be 7 days late to a reaction on the game, So I think Saturday next week we're going to record it on Saturday. More than likely it'll be up on Saturday, and so you'll be able to check that out next week. And then next Sunday there will be a WCP episode, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yes,
so action packed podcast weekend for everybody,
yeah.
And you can download both of them for your drive in on Monday, and your drive home you can listen to one, and then drive back in on Tuesday and listen to the other. And it'll be good to go. So. That's that as far as I think all of our podcasts are concerned. We all do a podcast. We all put one out. And I don't really have much else. Are you good for the day?
I think I'm good, man. Right. Just living that dream.
Living that dream. All right. So thanks everyone for listening. If you want, you can go check us out. Podbean is the host for our website, or a host for our podcast. So you can download the Podbean app. You can search for us on there, or any other app really that podcasts are played on, whether it be iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, yada yada yada. Anywhere iTunes or anywhere podcasts are heard.
Rate, review, and subscribe.
Subscribe to us and spread the good word. Just tell your friends about it.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. I'm thinking about doing a day trip up to Boston soon and just handing cards out.
Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Cool. Sometimes just go get beer, get lunch.
We'll have to talk to Josie and see what he's up to.
See what he's doing, and then we'll be good. All right. Joe, you got anything before we go?
Are you playing the outro music?
I'm playing the outro music.
All right. We're gonna hash something out.
Okay.
Real fast.
All right.
Every once in a while, nature calls when we're at the podcast, and I don't like doing the business at Aaron's house because I feel it is disrespectful to put something so not necessary into the air around here.
Right.
But Dave did me dirty because he went earlier